Welcome. I'm Ansary. These shows are becoming more common. Shows where I discuss basically what I see right now as like more components, discussing the solar flares, demonic, archonic, jinn possessions, um, World War III, China, things of that nature, things that relate to that, as well as crime news. Okay. Now, that is a number of different topics that are mainstream. Okay. Hello, first viewer. So, solar flares, crime, and then all that entails. World War III, geopolitics, China and Russia, and then the demonic possessions that we are seeing in society. We're going to, again, today, on today's date of December 21st, 2024, discuss those issues. But first, the pre show, before people start lining in and getting seated, talk a little bit about my life, I guess, how I would like to continue to grow the channel and grow my content. And we talked about that in previous videos. But again, I think that I need to start making more shorts now that they allow shorts up to 3 minutes, and that I need to conform, if you will, to where society is at if I'm going to reach it, through making shorts and reaching people that are on their cell phones and attempting other marketing techniques and dividing my content, not trying to necessarily force feed someone fitness info, human trafficking prevention info, women's self-defense, geopolitics, spirituality, Gnostic ideas of all that. So let me tell you some stories. Let's do some storytelling by the fire, by the campfire for about 5 or 10 minutes, and let's start our newscast then. All right. So I'm at a certain place, grocery store, and the difficulty about this dark matrix that we're in is I can see somebody coming at me who I talked to several times about my book, gave her my name, gave her all the channels, and I'll never know with my current intuition whether she likes me, watches the channel, and wants me to talk to her again. And so we live in this zombie apocalypse where I have to assume that not only does she have a boyfriend, but a taller boyfriend, a boyfriend of status, and that I am right that a lot of things that I talk about are going to alienate women. And even if men have it more together consciously when it comes to partying, conversation, certain levels of intelligence, right? It isn't really a sausage fest that I'm looking for, is it? And so it's difficult being a man or a male with feelings and intelligence and capability and to not have anything. Okay. It's difficult to be in this world knowing that people have limited attention spans, and that, let's get right to the chase, that at 2025 countdown, I privated half the videos. And so if we talk about the amount of time that I spent speaking the truth into those videos, and maybe I should bring them back, maybe I'm being too hard on myself, but I got the sense that maybe I just shared too much info. And from that alone, people are looking at that and they're going, oh, he's irrelevant. Oh, he shared this about himself. And so for now, it seems that a lot of that content on that avenue, which is something that as a channel I've been giving out to locals, that should probably end because that has got me nowhere. However, I may take some of those same videos and repurpose them and link them, list them on the front page of this channel. But I want to move forward with this new energy of the solstice. It's a new day, and focus my footsteps in a more specific manner because I need to focus my energy. And this world, my friends, and you know it, has our energy focused in so many different vampiric directions. Okay. And so we're 4 minutes in. We have 3 viewers. Let's now start the show. So the goal is to continue to mix the components together, highlighting acts of what we would call possession or psychopathic, sociopathic, mentally ill behavior, seeing the influence of the solar cycle, whether you're a mental health professional, a cop, or a magician, or a doctor, you can all learn something from that solar info. Perhaps at 2025 countdown, I'll be doing readings of Solar Wars 2025. If you want to get a copy of my book for Christmas or your friend for New Year's, the link's down below. I'm now going to add the links on a regular basis to my books on Amazon. In the future, there will be more. We'll also talk about whatever is the latest with China. Let's start there. Let's get faster. I want to get faster into this. I want to not be distracted by those coming and going and lack of likes, but I do expect to see more view counts, likes, donations, and members if I bust my ass for you in the months to come. Busting my ass for you comes in the form of enhanced production quality. Maybe adding more tags and descriptions, but I already bust my ass for you as far as hitting record. Okay. All I'm going to do is just mention a few headlines so you get other info. Have we just seen the cracks in the Trump-Musk alliance from the Telegraph? I don't know. Have we? I doubt it. Kind of like the idea of Alex Jones exposing Donald Trump. Yeah, right. Flat Earth YouTuber admits mistake after trip to Antarctica. How many things can I say about Flat Earth? The Flat Earth movement in the conspiracy movement, or the Flat Earth information perspectives, has taken people away from being receptive to what I discovered about the solar flares. Instead of them even looking at the correlation, they have a knee-jerk reaction as if they put that Flat Earth content into the internet algorithm for a reason. Let's start here. An active sunspot blasted a major X 8.7 class solar flare. So my intelligence feels enhanced today. That may alienate some people that may prefer the dumbed down version of me, the stone version of me, the hey, bro, everything is cool, bro, high five, bro, gong bell. It really is much. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about how in this world I have memories of, right, being attracted to a hottie at New Renaissance Bookstore in Portland, Oregon, checking her out in 2002, checking her out in 2003. Gee, I wonder where she is now. Wonder where she's a big fat. But anyways, and then I remember helping Michael Rupert come to Portland, Oregon to do a talk in 2004 and wanting to put up a flyer. After all, I thought he was going to talk about 911. And instead, he chose to go more in the direction of peak oil. The point is my heart was in the right place for wanting to bring Michael Rupert, for being a part of that promotion when he came in. So let's talk about this. So that particular cashier at New Renaissance Bookstore said, though, to me, no, you can't, because we're non-political. And this is my statement, and then we'll focus on the broadcast, the story. It's not political to say stop killing those people. It's not political to expose evil. In fact, it's spiritual. And there's a lot of people in this world. There's a lot of people in this community. There's a lot of people in this town that are anti-spiritual, anti-men like me and my demographic. And I'll try to minimize how deeply I describe that, because now it's wasting time. You really need a book if you have an interest for it. You're here for the news. And so let's get to the news. But you're going to get my perspective on the news and why. As someone that's warned about these things in advance for many, many years, humanity is sleepwalking into a cascade of crises. Humanity collectively hates itself. Humanity, men and women, collectively hate nice guys. Nice guys finish last. Smart guys, masculine guys. It isn't just women that dislike masculine guys. Look at how many people ignore my masculine videos, my life coaching videos, my boxing videos. Many men dislike masculine guys while they like to project onto the left. The left, they're the soy boys. Okay, so here we go. An active sunspot blasted a major X 8.7 class solar flare. And so while you're seeing this, let's spend a minimum of 5 minutes on this. Today's date is the 21st. Okay, make sure that you know the basics of what we're dealing with here. What are we dealing with here? X 8.7, extremely active sunspot region. How solar flares disrupt our daily lives. The fuck? Whoa. This is something that's going to be talking about the mental health influence over solar flares? Or from solar flares?
Although
no, the grid.
Recovery time.
The grid. Okay. But there is going to come a point in time, folks, where more mainstream people know about or will be talking about it. And the question is, will they know my name? And is it really fair to me? Is it going to be fair to me? Is that your final answer? Is that really going to be fair to me if I'm ignored? After all, carefully. I short version of my broadcast. I can do a 3-minute version of my broadcast and see how that goes. I can do a 30-minute version of my broadcast and edit it down and cut out my fat. You know, my belly fat, all this talky. You don't want me to talky. You don't want me to talk. You want me to cut out the fat? I'll try it. But I've busted my ass, folks, for 20 years already doing objective news without going super deep and this and that, and it got me nowhere.
Both towards the sun and away from the sun.
So this is the solar activity. This is what's going on.
When that reconnection event happens, then again, the material which is suspended in those magnetic fields normally will move one.
This is the recent geomagnetic report. This is what's, planetary K index, that sort of thing. So let's go back to the 19th. And we see the 17th. I just showed you this the other day. Did I not? Okay, and so after the 17th, we saw a spike in murders and a number of different things. It gets the mojo rising. It's like that line from The Doors. Get your mojo rising. Get your mojo rising. And it's real. When this stuff happens, things on Earth are happening. Things on Earth are sizzling. All right? Now, as far as geopolitics, we're going to cover most of that in one package. Okay? That's not my main focus. So hello, second viewer. Let's now start covering the news. All right? Let's start slow and then in rough or hot or something. Oh, well, it sounds like a line out of Tina Turner's What's Love Got to Do with It, the movie. Okay, let's start somewhere a little bit more simple. We're used to this, but most people don't know the context of solar flares causing men that don't have self-control to do things that are not smart. So evil, nasty, scary. Lakeland man arrested for grabbing 16-year-old box at Chick-fil-A. And then I'll continue to tell you campfire stories about me trying to hand out my card at the grocery store in between news clips. Instead of having just one big, large bitch session, let's spread it out. All right. USPS employee arrested for smearing unknown substance on mailbox. So, I had a feeling maybe there's a reason I don't want to take my card. Having to do with stuff like this. I try to get this older white lady in my car, do like a hippie shirt. She freaked the fuck out. Woo! Fuck. Okay, so is there, and I'll extrapolate on the fly. Is there a connection with government workers? There's just a possession happening across the board. You're just an evil, oh, sure, I care about human trafficking. Not, oh, sure, I care about defeating evil. I'm not evil. And then I always say, you see them say, they always say, I have no idea. I've never seen this behavior before. And then I say on a regular basis, and yet we've never seen SAR activity like this before. No, I think there may be the potential that we'll deal with the idiocracy society, but at some point, if not everything's destroyed, they should be discovering my work later and going, what the fuck? How is this guy not in Time magazine? Hopefully, Emily is psychic, and her dreams about me being in Time magazine will manifest only for the right reasons and when I'm ready. I deserve to live in a home fit for a king. To just put it out there. A king. With a crew of 10 people to help me because really I have so much going on here, especially today. You have no idea what it's like to be inside this body right now. Have you seen Multiplicity with the guy that was in Beetlejuice? That's what it was. It was the Red Bull, buddy, hipster. You had that. You bought all that Red Bull, didn't you? You had the bulk package from Costco. Oh, that's why she did it. She's like, motherfucker, trying to poison me. She drank that soda, figured out that you poisoned her, then got back at you. I'm joking, folks. Bring me to Vegas and put on a live show, and we'll recreate Hunter S. Thompson. You bring the Molly and the acid. We need a female groupie fan to meet me in Vegas in 3 months' time. I'm not kidding. We're gonna do a Vegas show on the actual strip, and we need you to film me with your cell phone, honey. You want me on TikTok? You could create the account. Fuck that shit. No, just no. I'm not getting on ByteDance. You would have to pay me in a significant amount of. I won't say it here. You don't know who's watching. You know what's really unusual about people that like to, I really don't want him to get in trouble. I really don't. It's really bizarre seeing some of the people in the media because I dealt with people in this world that try to get me in trouble for nothing at all. So, geez, man, it was like demons get a pass and they want to take out the angels. So they stop helping people. Next video. Aurora leaders address fears of retaliation amid recent Trende Agraya arrests. No, I got an email from Colorado where we got a comment, and the only reason I got a comment, thank you, Justin. I didn't know you're out there, or maybe he just found the video and he stopped watching the channel. But a guy named Justin, who I featured in the what I call the Forbidden County, kind of a reference to like China, Forbidden Country County. And so through word of mouth, somebody was very, very happy to have discovered my videos, and he never would have discovered it had someone not sent him the link. And that's the way of the new world, in case you did not know that. You literally have to tap someone. Hey, bro, check out this guy on YouTube. He's like nothing else, and they're totally censoring him. That's how this works, guys. You literally have to bookmark the site. Thinking it's about subscribing? No bueno. That's the way of the past. We have what? How many claimed subscribers? 16,000. How many show up and watch a video? 25 or 30. How many sit there and will like it other than my likes? If it's a mashup of movie clips, nobody. I'm in my 20th year. So be honest about it. I suit up, I show up, I try to be clean, give you a lot of info, and there isn't really much after 20 years, whether you want to call it payback, engagement. Best word would be used is compensation, including building friendship and family. So in this long form version of my broadcast, you'll get to hear a little bit about my personal pain with a lot of it censored. Again, half my videos at 2025 Countdown have been removed. So when I do meet women in the future, they don't hear me criticizing all these things. They don't hear how intelligent I am. I censor how intelligent I am. I censor how much I know about their game. And I will only lead them to content and YouTube channels that are within the box of what they can handle. So maybe I can have a social life, because clearly it failed with you the past 20 years. I point out content year after year after year, day after day after day. Every day I check my email. Every day it's empty. Every day I check my email. Every day it's empty. Or it'll be some of the same people, the same nothingness. You know what I mean? The same dribble. Not that I'm talking about you specifically, but there was really little fresh activity. And as one person said, I feel like that lady's listening to me. Like that one person's listening to me because everybody else has left. 1 minute ago, I had 4 viewers. Now they're all gone because they want it fast. Well, you want it that way, your way, Burger King, then you're going to have to stay tuned for the shorts. Okay. But on the long form version right here, like so, you heard it here first. With the rise in this, and I was right, more people will look at people that are brown, that look Hispanic and Middle Eastern, as either terrorists, sleeper cells, human traffickers, or illegals. And they will feel and are and do feel justified in doing so while they claim what? While claiming what? While claiming what? That racism, yeah, you got it, doesn't exist. So you have a segment of the population go, racism doesn't exist. That's anti-white. That's leftist. While they engage in what? Racism. It's waka, 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 but welcome to the New World Order. Have a drink, have a cigar. You're going to go far. Roll clip. We're just waiting for the people to show up. They're here. The show will continue. I'm going to be breaking down shorts of these rants so I can get views. I will conform to the cell phone matrix, but still recommend people abstain from cell phone addiction, dating apps, things they like. Create their own OnlyFans account when they should get a real job and be a truther. We need truther girls on the front lines telling other women to come to the light. We don't need more porn gangbang women. We really don't. Have I lost you? Oh, you're still there. Oh, there you go. You're gone now. I'm so psychic. So psychic. I said, literally, have I lost you within a second of that person leaving? Like, we're connected, man. We're connected like this. I'm inside your mind like that. I see exactly all the gunk, all the demons, all the dragons, all it, bro. All the alcohol, all the used tampons. Kick that shit, bro, down the drain, bro. Woo. Stinky up in that head. I got to take a break. Woo. I don't know. There are right wingers looking meaner than Trey Agrado. It's a bad joke, but still, you know what I mean? That was a bad joke. But the guys don't look as heavily tatted, would be a better way to say it. They look a little bit more clean cut, but some of them probably have tons of tattoos. There was one female who I believe was a human trafficker who works for them. And so they will target Hispanics. So with this gang, there'll be more discrimination towards Hispanics, brown people, but they target Hispanics. They target innocent people. This is a beautiful looking Latina who looks like, one female that I have seen here. There's an overabundance of Latinas here, but because it's a different race and culture and spiritual influence, did I say culture and language? There's a difficulty in me reaching them, even if I may look a little, and then they may be, some of them very anti of their own, or a lot of people here, I'm off track, but it's painful for me to be at the gym, to see beautiful women, and to know, because I'm not Hispanic and don't speak Spanish, that like I'm off limits to them and them to me. And I know I'm off topic again, but that's how the show rolls. When I'm at the gym, there's a lot of people that are just happy to have a partner, and their whole thing is, look at my status, look at my guy, look at my girl. Aren't we so cool? And they'll prance around and kind of look around like peacocks. Okay, now who's looking at us? And me being somewhat, my thoughts do project, I think lately. So if I'm looking at someone, it seems like they feel my stare, even if I'm glancing, and I'll be glancing around. So it seems like There are evil people allergic to my presence, right? What's new? Back to the clip. And so I have to control my thoughts and where I look. I should wear indoor shades way more. I've never been to Aurora, Colorado, but I am from Aurora, Oregon. There's a video saying everything you need to know about the gang. Nope, it's not everything you need to know about the gang. Everything you need to know about the gang would include the perspectives or theories, wondering if sleeper cells for China and Russia for the human trafficking epidemic that's coming. Okay. So let me know if you hear them talk about that. And remember, you heard it here first. Let's go to Walmart news. Let's go to so I'm in Walmart a lot, and Walmart, a worker was killed, and she was like a Sikh or something. She looked like she could have been an immigrant. I believe that she was an immigrant. She was found dead in the freezer. Okay, and then there's another video about someone talking about the woman found dead in the freezer. We may play that next, and then certain deaths and murders in this nation, and you know it's true, are played down or not really talked about, while other murders, like the girl in Utah who had the bad choice in men, who went camping with that guy in Utah in the white van, there'll be like documentaries about them for a certain reason, because they're considered a higher value human. And it's because of that consideration of women like that being a higher value that they're more prone or vulnerable, especially in places like Portlandia, to being kidnapped. In places, even prominent areas in which they live around mansions and nice homes, there's plenty of criminals now that know how to go into areas and kidnap women in prominent areas. They don't always go to the hood, just so you know that. I hear of stories happening to women in high-class areas where they're walking around with diamonds, where they've never once even thought about being robbed in today's day and age, and now it's happening. There's other stories about youths here locally going on crime sprees, and I'm looking at their eyes and their mugshots, and I'm going, those mofos are possessed. They all of a sudden a sword flare comes, and within a matter of hours, a couple of guys come together. They rob one woman, they rob another woman, they rob another person, they punch another person. Who knows who they raped, right? But they're not necessarily. They're literally coming together. It's like the evil in the air will pick in our cities some of the most vulnerable and ruthless to be hosts. Again, this is our solar report for the 17th. This is the 18th. We're going to go back in a minute. This is the 17th and the 18th. And one day I will attract to me an audience that likes this brain. Okay. As long as I minimize the victim bitching, the bitch fest. Okay. And don't alienate the people that might, really respect me and learn from me. Like, that's the goal. Okay. Indiana jail workers believed Louisville woman who died in custody was faking it. And I don't want to believe that any of you, because of the regions that you live in. Oh, let's go to the video here. Here we go. I don't believe that all cops are bad. I believe there's good cops, and I would like cop friends, but they don't want to be my friend. So let's move on. There are cops at this time that I believe some of them are being taken over by evil spirits. There's a spat of stories that I'm seeing, including cops locally raping women that are drunk on the hood of their car or in their apartment. It's happening. Cops being busted that should be exposing human trafficking rings, being part of it and pulling down their pants for a blowjob. Shit like that's in the news. What's happening is the evil in some humans, men and women, is taking them over because they were never spiritual or godly to begin with. Okay? And because of the New Age movement, because of witchcraft, black magic, shit like that, evil things, most people don't trust me when I say I want to give them spiritual info. They will tell me to my face locally that they worship Satan. And I can't necessarily beat upon the head of my region more than your region if I don't know that your region has conscious stuff going on. What I will try to do, where possible, is be patient with you. I don't know you. What I can tell you is that I'm going to try to create life coaching information that is a much more gentler tone. But some people also, I wouldn't say like the harshness, but let's just say it. And to be frank, discipline. And if you don't have a certain amount of discipline with your audience will drive over you If you're too nice, society and your audience, if you're a true speaker, will drive over you and abandon you. And if you're too mean, something bad will happen possibly. Okay. And so I'm trying to be balanced here, right? But I absolutely feel abandoned by you, the audience, collectively. After giving you my life, you two, my life. I'm doing this for you for free. I hope you understand that. I'm not getting paid. I'm not on salary. I've literally dedicated my soul to this. I'm not getting booty or anything. I'm not selling my soul for those things. And in this world, and you know it's true, girl, many people on social media have been given those things: partners, homes, vacations, material things. Well, my life has gone in the garbage for being what? For being what? Right as fuck. All right? Women need to evolve their DNA to liking psychic men. Their husbands need to evolve their DNA for embracing the fact their wife is watching a psychic man who wants to care about their kids. You need to wake up, each and every one of you, to the fact that we're living in sort of a planet of the apes, and do everything in your power to ask God to teach you what you need to do to get out of here, because that's what I'm teaching you through these podcasts. Evil is taking over. We don't have to go necessarily to the Left Behind series. You want to go to Left Behind series? You want to deal with that guy in those books? Deal with that. But really, as far as I'm concerned, you found the real deal right here at this channel. You know, I'll save the next rant, but I'll go into a bookstore like the one I went to recently, or a warehouse, and I'll look at all their books for 1 hour, which I did today. I'll tell you more about my day. Because I don't feel welcome at the library. I don't feel welcome at the other place. There was another bookstore that closed because the economy sucks. So I go on the bookstore. Everything was garbage. Nothing about the sword flares. Nothing about archons. Nothing about Afghanistan and the truth of it. Worshiping. They had Alex Jones's book there, The Great Reset, on sale for $5. I put in my business card for my channel in his book. Where do they get a load of me? I literally picked it up going, should I buy Alex's book? And I looked at the contents, looked like a bunch of gibberish. They won't try to put you in a firing line, but they'll put you in digital gulag. And I closed the book going, why are you giving your people false insecurity? There you go again, motherfucker. What do you mean they're probably not going to put you in a fire line? There you go, covering for the system. There you go, Alex Jones, covering for the system. A lot of Alex Jones's talking points were just recycled mainstream right-wing garbly-goo they can find on Fox News. What he was getting into. When I look at the contents and scan it with my fingers, it was very lightweight. It was transcriptions of rants and shit. It wasn't real deal. It was $5 for a reason. And he gave someone a nice hand job to get that mass printed, to have it put at that price and then knocked down to $5 to be sold at a Mass Depot warehouse outlet. There's Alex Jones. And yet, dude, I sat next to him and I'm a nobody. Yet here he is, the man that sold out, who has the gruff, who just proves nice guys finish last. The very fact that the very fact that I don't even have to argue with people in my audience about him proves nice guys finish last. This is Planet Pop-Tart. I'm sorry, honey, you're crying. And I'm sorry to the lady at the health food store that cried, but I gave her my card and said I would help her. And if she gave me a chance, I'll talk to her in Espanol. And she never showed up. Walked by her at the grocery store, nodded her. She went, Listen, yeah, I know you're bumping and grinding, you're having a good time, but that's the reality is a lot of people came here to Earth from the hell realms to have a good time. And you know what? Somebody had to stop watching, but that's just too bad. Okay. There's a lot of people. Okay. I'm not saying she's guilty. I'm pausing. You, me, all of us included. How many times have people assumed that when something bad happened to me, that it was my fault? How many times have you? Now think about that. Okay. But are there people out there making bad decisions with their partners, with sins? Are there people out there that unconsciously can bring bad things to them? And can bad partners that you bed down with, and then we'll go back to the video, can that contribute to the bad luck frequency? More to be revealed in a future book. So Indiana jail workers believed that woman who died in custody was faking it. So what would possess someone to think that? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying, that there's something going around with law enforcement, and the stories about them raping and that increasing is disturbing. Okay, because I really don't want to believe that it's that widespread. I know in the military it is, and that's really sad that there's such widespread blind support for the military when there are these atrocities. And I actually believe that when women sign up for the military, that they are more likely to be profiled for sexual assault because of the evil spirits that manipulate some of the people that go in that world to, harm vulnerable people and populations. They may then view that person as asking for it if they were willing to join their gang. I'm going to pause and see if that digests itself. To the demonic element that goes, come here, little girl, join our military forces. If something unfortunate happens to her, the men doing that to her will be the mindset, well, you joined our Murder Inc. You want to be one of us. Don't you want the party? And then some women in spirit, they do sign up. I'm not saying you, if you're one of them, but some women, they may sign up consciously for the armed forces to have, say, a party or a blast, where it may be taboo to be with a group of guys back home. Where in the military, she might be seen as, say, a very good little girl for servicing the troops. And so through pornography, through mass media, through pop culture, through what's coming out the radio, you can see the real vile nature of the evil spirits that are inhabiting many human bodies today. Don't hate me because I'm a psychic genius, short tan guy. Learn from me and then go out and learn from others, because you certainly can't take my image and be successful with it. You'll just look bad promoting me. But can you personally learn from me, the 10 of you that may be serious watching this, or the 15 of you? And then that's what counts before God. If I can help just a few of you wake up to the evil in this, and if a few of you decided to help me help others, or to help others directly yourself, this would be something that I believe God looks. Now, why I froze on this, I don't know, but this is like some alien octopus thing going on. Let's just move on from the image. Very scary, very scary. Don't know what's going on there, but ooh, the octopus is coming, the hente. The Japanese animation. The octopus tentacles are coming to a porn hub near you. They were really cruel to me where I went to that place in July. Like, I showed women that I had a gap in my teeth from a dental implant, and she's like, don't show us your mouth. And so, like, the sentiment here is so anti-man, so anti-man trying to be spiritual. Like, the women have been broken, and I don't assume they've all been raped. I think that there's an energy that sort of has raped their energy. There's an external energy other than theirs, like an alien force, that has raped their energy. Oh, shit. So, yes, and I talked about this years ago, that there has been this penetration, ooh, no pun intended, ooh, of the female human psyche through years and years, this alien interference. And it's through that there is this divide that has happened with the natural earth man. Wow, I am good when I am live. Are you helping me with my superpowers? I think when I am live and talking to you live, and when your minds are locked in, and when there's a whole lot of you, the types of things that come out. Now, when the comments are open, though, the demons will sit in the back and they'll wait for a person who's vulnerable to being cruel and apathetic, jump in the body of that person, then that person on the keyboard will then create the interference, like what you saw during the last cast, in which we had a record 44 viewers, and then the interference came from Mr. Douchebag. And we saw the energy and the momentum go. So it's basically like the equivalent of somebody throwing a rotten egg or something at a party or a festival or a stink bomb, or doing a drive-by shooting. And so it's actually, ooh, I'm deep. During the solar flares, you'll people get down on it, don't get down on it, do. And then like the demons will come around, do. Oh, look at people having a good time. Look at these people having a good time. Who do you to have a good time? You know what? You know what we're going to do about that? Pop, 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 pop. 1-800. Now, on the topic of that, we have a flash riot, a very interesting flash rioter mob, which follows the recent enhanced solar activity. I think you might want to take a look at it. It's very exciting and dreamy, okay? let's take a look. We don't know what the fight was about. It was just a lot of teens out there somewhere in rural America, in the land of the many subject 8 homes, Section 8, Section 8 homes. So get ready for the Section 8 right from the get-go. Whoop, whoop. One second. Here we go.
Teenagers moving in Thursday. The chaos in Forney did not start here, but that gunshot is when it gets really
messy. So it was described as an incident that included 200, but I don't see like 200 rioting. But basically, there's a lot of people that were there. And what happened was basically they say that some kid tried to take the gun of a cop
and running from the officers sent to break up their fight. This is where it happened.
Right.
Mariah Gibson watched from her doorbell camera dozens of
so
teenagers
again,
moving in.
Whoop, whoop. This doesn't happen normally. Although when I clicked on that story, other stories will open then from the algorithm regarding things happening last year, the year before, so they have their problems there in Section 8 land, but it'll pop off is what I'm telling you. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yes, I'm ready to receive my Peace Award. Thank you very much.
They're coming. You can hear
radio station. Have me on. If you're in Portland, Oregon, ask Clyde Lewis, call in. Why don't you ever? You don't have to call him on the air. Ask him on Facebook. Why don't you even consider? We know Alex Ansary is an asshole douchebag, blah, blah, blah. But he has contributed intellectual information to Portland, Oregon. Why would you deliberately keep him off the air, Clyde Lewis? Because he's a fake news douchebag straight from hell, just like Carrie Cassidy and the whole cast of characters.
Okay. I'm coming.
Continue to pray for my mom. Continue to pray for other people that have been harmed in this world because the children, the unique children, they were brave enough to bring in this world, in a world that really doesn't want humans like me running amongst. My mother did what few humans could. My mother did what most women that I know. Well, she never stayed with my father, but long enough to make me, to create me. And apparently that was all that was needed. Hanging around my douchebag father, demon fuck, was not actually needed because he was not actually deserving. So in the case of my birth, it does happen to be something that was ordained and meant to happen, but not meant to happen for those individuals, wherever their souls came from, to stay together. Have I made myself clear? Because it's pretty clear to me, my dad works for the dark side in spirit. He can masquerade and pretend he's nice all he wants. I've stared him in the eyes, so to speak, via a one-on-one text message and know that there's no good left in him. I've done the whole Jedi, is there good in you, Father, Darth Vader, as he lays there like a beetle going, my heart, my heart. And I'm looking at him going, bro, it's God that must heal your heart, not the medical professionals. And just keep that in mind if you start thinking that the doctors need to help you. Okay, I have foot problems now from going to the sauna. What I need to do, not go to the foot doctor, but stop going to the friggin' sauna where I got a friggin' fungal infection. Okay, no, the truth is out there, folks. The truth is out there. Go ahead and send me your emails to your favorite supplements, and I'll get on it.
When he sees just how many kids there are.
You may be familiar or aware of previous videos I did on Solar Maximum 1989, where I showed you lean on me when you're not strong and I'll be your friend. The movie that came out in 1989, the opening, Welcome to the Jungle. We've got fun and games. Just a situation like this, but far more violent. And there was a time when there was far less feminized men, and they're actually getting laid way more. So maybe that was, I don't know. But you look back at 1989, 1990, you have more skinheads, you have more fights, you have the rise of gang violence, and then things really exploded by the early 90s. The A-Man, I'll tell this story in less than 1 minute. I love this story. In 1994, he was working at a hotel, and the Bloods in Portland, Oregon, misrepresented themselves and rented a room at the airport. Okay, and then they began to piss on things. Then they began to create a disturbance and sock people in the face. And he went in there and cleaned house, where a lot of people weren't able to handle that situation. And then he did it single-handedly, where the Portland police didn't even want to go in there because they were natural-born cowards. Lots of men that rely on guns, black magic, are not real men. I feel also like, again, revealing too much about how I know women like bad boys, giants, evil things, unfortunately keeps them away from being receptive to things that will help them. So the fact that in this day and age that I would feel the need to censor my intelligent life coaching information by 50% in order to maybe make some friends says a lot about the cesspool of this world that we've become, eh? You should never have to play the game as a true speaker and feel bad because you're good at fitness, good at the heavy bag, good at China facts, good at this, good at being in the right place at the right time because I'm a messenger of fucking God. And there's no way Jesus is the only one. There's no way I'm the only one. No fucking way. There's got to be messengers of God in every religion, every place right now at the microcosm 144K level, my friends. And what does this represent? We'll get back to it in a future video. And in the Islamic world, they have their own equivalency of this concept. They have their own equivalency understanding of the masters of the inner planes, the imams, right? The spirit guides, the guardian angels, the angels themselves, the battle of good and evil. So I recommend Sufi realities when you don't get enough from me. If you're looking for a softer, more spiritual, no complaint about racism, just spiritual enlightenment, go to talk to Sufi realities. But if you want the real deal, someone sharing basically their heart and soul, and am I ever really, and should I ever really want to change that about myself? No. I know that we can look back at the tail of the tape and find plenty of videos where I'm objectively covering the news with hardly any likes and all the likes removed from YouTube. So if you really want to impress me and really get me looking at you via name, you sign up with your code name or name to Substack. When you like, I see that you like, and then I gaze in your direction. And then you go, right? Whereas when you like on YouTube, I have no idea who liked.
High school.
And then when you comment on Substack, that's a real way to get my attention and impress me and be kind. But I don't want the same people commenting over and over. It's what I want to do is I want to become an equal. I want to be like other content creators to where there's dozens of people commenting that aren't necessarily there trying to take all my time and be there every day. They just come once in a while, they comment, they leave, they come back, they comment, they leave, they go about their lives. And it's not like this silent treatment, which it seems that what I've got going on because my audience is so tiny. Yeah, keep your jokes to yourself. Because I'm actually quite big, know what I mean? But hey, in spirit, I'm 1,000 feet tall. I'm going to get the t-shirt. Hey, what do you mean too short to ride this ride? Hey, I know what's going on here on planet Earth.
Fine, I got too many.
And I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on?
The sheriff's office is trying to figure that out too.
So a man walks in, 1994, grabs the microphone from the guy who's going, whacks him. Everybody must leave now. And then, a couple guys try to come over while he's putting the alcohol cabinet away and try to take him by the arms and smashes him with one blow each. And then starts zigzagging through the crowd, knocking out anything that moved, male or female. That's the ticket. But before he did so, he talked about security, locking up the lottery machines, keeping the bar crowd and the bouncers to keep the crowd away from the nightclub crowd. But he never knew about the solar flares. So I always, to this day, got off and still get off talking to, we have one EMT that I know watches the program, but he won't acknowledge solar flares, but he acknowledges my off-grid knowledge. So he has still room to grow. Maybe he doesn't want to give me kudos because of a male ego thing. The American culture is so funny. Paramedics, cops, medical fields, they can all benefit greatly from my great depths of knowledge about the solar flares. It's not psychosis. It's not autism. I'm a man before his time. All right. Makes sense? All right. We've seen enough of this. All right. But these scenes will continue to unfold in the next year. In other words, I am a great advisor to police departments. I'm the last person that should be living in fear. In other words, I should be giving lectures in front of good cops, also about them preventing their own suicide. I've given cops 1 to 2 minutes of my time because that's all they'll give me. When they're at the coffee shop at Starbucks, and I walked away feeling that they really didn't like that. And so I will walk away feeling jealous and upset and left out when I see society starting to go, hey, wait a minute, we need citizen cops. We need to start figuring out what's going on here. We just can't mediate what's coming with just our own force. We need to think big. And now I'm seeing departments do that. How do we recruit more officers because of the growing crime problem? Well, I should be a part of this discussion. and I'm not. So I feel that I'm an incarnation where God gifted me with a lot of knowledge to share with my inner circle folks, which is you folks, but the world itself isn't acknowledging me yet. And this, unfortunately, is the path of many geniuses, whether it be Alexander Chizetsky, who was persecuted by the Russian oligarchy, or many others. And I don't want my life to end up super south like certain people in world history, okay? But it is what it is. God will call home his own when it's time, okay? I see plenty of stories of people doing good deeds in this reality that are taken out from a drunk driver all the time, whether it be a cop or somebody else. I said not all cops are bad. But do I get down and lick the boots of the Blue Lives Matter? Do I see the Blue Lives Matter meme as a cult, that cops can do no wrong, that cops are like a race? Absolutely. Absolutely. Are there cops that are not very intelligent, that have low IQ, that might adopt the Blue Lives Matter thing because they don't know any better and that it's political? Yes. Yes. We need to be patient with the low IQ cops that don't have a good grasp on the political co-opting of policing. Hope you understand this. There's a difference between being a good cop and doing the right thing. And actually, a lot of right-wingers are anti-good cop. They don't actually like to see the cops. A German terrorist attack, death toll rises, 200 injured. I just told you there was a solar flare. Stage events.
One on the West Coast, we are gathering the information here on a situation developing
also continue to be an increase in Black on Arab attacks locally and across the nation. Okay, so another story about a guy from Turkey who had his throat slit, but the news will never talk about that Black thug being motivated by artificial intelligence, anti-Themism content. But you, of all people, should understand what I'm saying. You've been around for a number of months. You've been around for a number of years. You should know what I'm talking about when the word anti-Themism comes up. I coined the term years ago, and I'm the only man on Google to have shared this term. That means you have a lot of sleeping immigrants in America that only care about their kofta kebab, their shawarma, their knob, their panocha. That's actually the Spanish word for pussy, but you catch the drift, hopefully. There are a lot of these Muslim immigrant men, they only care about the family, the creating of slaves, the perception that they're serving God. They're actually not doing much more than what they say their religion expects of them. And I'm shocked how many Muslims have a belief system that it's God's fault or something for Muslims being persecuted, where they should be stepping up to the plate as Muslims in Western nations and saying something about the destruction of their homelands. See, they don't want to stand out and be the nail that gets hit. And see, so much of this is predictable. And I have been predicting and talking about false flags for years. And so now you want to find out who's on mind control, who's under mind control. Look around at those people in the conspiracy movement calling all this stuff legitimate, right? And so if you're watching them and you're watching me, don't be surprised if you have extreme mental disturbances. You shouldn't have a million gurus going in different directions that are opposed to each other. Okay, you can say, oh, I'm being objective, but you're really filling your mind with a bunch of stuff that will confuse you. So unsubscribe from me and go to them if you're going to be in the Alex Jones crowd. There is no mixing, okay, at all when it comes to certain understandings. You either love all people or you don't love all people. You're going to be confused if you mix my content with other content that wants you to hate certain groups. And I've seen the failure of my words, years of busting my ass. Well, basically, no matter how good I am at thinking in my mind and expressing myself, dark souls are going to be dark souls. So they can sit around and hang out with me, fornicate with me, drink with me, live with me for years and years, till one day the planetary alignments come, the solar flares come, and the jinn that come with it. The moon cycle comes and they are in Patricia's death. They become entirely different people who are literally fornicating with people that kill people that look like me. And so when you live in that type of sci-fi reality, you cannot trust what your cock is turned on by.
A bit more about what's going on. By the way, I think,
or your vagina.
We should also note that there may have been
many women are turned off by that which they should absolutely pounce upon.
Tradition request for him by the Saudi government.
Like explain something to a child, you know, like I want to keep the language clean here, but I'm not aware. When I look at the algorithmic data, nobody's watching under the age of 35. The question is there anybody trying to teach their little one how to survive the rape gangs of the future? If none of you are trying to teach your kids about the most basic morality and about the most basics of human trafficking. You know, it's not just don't talk to strangers. It's also don't listen to maniacs on the radio that will lead your soul to damnation.
And that in and of itself is bizarre as well.
I mean? Like,
are we seeing more terror type attacks?
It's like a whole world of strangers now.
They're happening.
Like a lot of the things that we were traditionally told by our parents not to do, society says now go do.
In Germany and in Europe overall, by the way, I feel like we've reported on a lot of them recently. Does it appear that there is an uptick, or are we maybe just hearing about them more?
Well, I mean, you could go back to 2016. There was one attack like this in a German market back then. There was another one in France the same year.
Well, it is likely that we'll see a cascade of these events, and that people will believe that it's real, and there'll be March for profiling, and artificial intelligence may run a Schindler's List program. And then I will be back in a form of a solar flare to rescue humanity. Okay. And they will remember my name. Scream like the little girl from the movie Neverending Story. Say my name, right? Say my name, bitch. Say my name.
There have been attacks.
All right.
Throughout Europe. I think what we can say about those, and I think it's really unclear right now whether we can connect this most recent attack to the previous.
There's nowhere for me to party, or no one for me to party with. So it's me stuck in the middle with you talking about the end of the world. So deal with it or send me a ball.
Was it the Islamic State or Sunni jihadist radicals, if you will?
Sunni jihadist radicals. The Muslims are coming on cue at the solar maximum. Ansary didn't warn about this. The elite using solar flares against humanity. Yeah. Now, how many of you actually got my books and are actually listening to my most important things? Somebody, I think, sent me a message the other day, like, where's the rest of your journal entry? Oh, no. Like, bro, China, Russia, solar flares. There's so much deeper subject matter we can get into. If people are really interested in me, the person behind the, people have an odd way of showing it. You know what I mean?
Carrying out attacks.
In other words, if you're interested in me, my life story, work on the friendship part. Work on join the members area. Work on those types of things. I can't put everything out on Front Street for the masses, basically. By everything being for free, even though everybody wants everything for free now, right? Especially the audience. People respect me less for putting everything for free. People only respect you in the alt media if you become a businessman and you begin to acquire resources and money. And you will find yourself homeless by appeasing your audience for avoiding allegations of e-begging, by appeasing your audience and not wanting to be an e-beggar and keeping the donation requests at a minimal. As an aspiring true speaker, assuming there's one listening to this broadcast in the future, you can go hungry, end up homeless, and undateable because you have no status. In this modern world, you need resources and donations to flourish and move forward in the era of shadow banning. The other uses for resources is advertising. When you have a book, when you have a documentary, and you want to circumvent shadow banning, you're going to have to pay for a little bit of that juice, if that'll even work. So if I was to be paid a certain amount of money, or if I was to be able to raise a certain amount of money, I would be able to do things to grow the message. I could hire people. I could pay people. But if I have to do everything, like right now, and there's no income, there's no staff, I can't then grow the channel independently with all the time needed for SEO and doing all the things needed to take out my face so it's no longer recognized by the shadow ban system. Create an AI avatar to look like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman or man just to appease modern tribalistic society. What kind of bullshit is that? I shouldn't even have to think like that. Pause for 30 seconds of awkward silence. Let that sink in. I shouldn't even have to think, as I have for 4 years, that I have to create another avatar of another race in order to wake up the world. I wonder what God thinks about my thoughts. We know humanity is laughing at me thinking I'm nuts. What does God think? What does my higher self think? Some would say, is there a difference? Ooh! Anyways, yeah, tell that to Teal Swan, right? Seems that when you talk about spirituality from a big place, big man place, people don't want me to think big, but are fine with it. Become anything you want. You're a god. Fuck that shit. I mean, seriously, if like even like a small sliver of the people out there calling themselves gods or gods, I would expect to see more what? I would expect to see more what? Love vibration. That, you got it. Intuition, psychic ability, put them on the glass. They would be calling out 9/11, China. They'd be fighting human trafficking. Anybody, any woman even trying to pretend to be the goddess. Now that Gaia bitch downstairs, now she's got a problem, beef with me. She's turned a lot of, spirits against me, a lot of animal kingdoms against me, but I don't associate Gaia with the goddess, with the higher form. You need to understand there's higher and lower, and people have confused the lower for the higher. All right, let's continue. Are you enjoying this?
Part of Europe.
Are you learning
that
something?
Is, I think, at this point, hard to deny. The question is whether this is a continuation of that trend or whether this is motivated by something else.
It's motivated by a false flag, something that you don't understand.
For your home
and Alex Jones doesn't understand.
And drop the red
because Alex Jones doesn't understand false flags anymore. By the convenient group, Alex Jones's book was sold today and mass produced. Because of what he doesn't cover. Now, Ooga Booga.
Holiday violence hits the Citadel.
Remember, the Ooga Booga is inclusive.
Breaks
for
out
all
between
the
a group
people
of women
of the
in
Ooga Booga monkey
shopping
gene.
mall parking lot. Good evening. Welcome to Fox 11 News at
Ooga
10.
Booga.
I'm Alex Michelson.
Thanks so much for being with us. I'm
Ooga
Marla Tejas here for Christine Devon. Let's take you live to the city of commerce now.
Fox 11's Laura Diaz is there on the scene. Laura.
A-Man would tell me back in the day when he would, their club would be visited by a lot of brothers, he would do some passive aggressive behavior, whether it be loud or whatnot. And he'd be sitting there in the DJ booth and he'd be playing a little ooga jaga. And he said they'd be looking around going.
Alex, right now, that incident is under investigation by the LA County Sheriff's Department. But as you can imagine, the mother and daughter are still reeling over what took place.
Ooga jaga, ooga.
I've been shaky. She herself has been shaky. I don't know where all of this is coming from, but we're just not okay. Mentally, emotionally, I am not okay.
I have a few bruises right here, right there.
So I am convinced
right
that
here,
there's going to be an explosion in
my
world
lip,
news,
it's
and then I will have woken up and failed to have written my book. Okay, and then I'm going to be overwhelmed with news, and that our channels could be gone, and I'll be sitting here, not stuck in the middle with you, but just sitting here in the heat or something without water or something, with like rapist gangs outside looking for white chicks with booty shorts and cell phones. You know what I'm saying? Like, God, what a future. Blah. God. But hey, I stopped asking crazy women to email me. So high five. Fine. Whatever. Leave me hanging. I don't care. Fuck.
It's the Friday before Christmas, and this mother and daughter are still traumatized by a shopping trip Wednesday to the Citadel Mall that turned into an all-out melee. The cell video shows a group of 5 adults, including 4 who pounce on 19-year-old Natalie, the driver.
Natalie! There's a lot of these Natalies in the news. Fuck, man. 19-year-old. There's a shitload of these. Bro, I am so psychic. It's not even funny. Like, but there's something about 19, and there's that song from the Vietnam era. But as far as hooked on a feeling,
Ooga, 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 chaka, ooga, 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 chaka, ooga, 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 chaka, ooga, ooga. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Girl, you just don't realize what you do to me.
You drive me crazy, lady. Turn me into a monkey. Okay, that's enough of that. Yeah, men can be turned into a ooga jogger from that. I have not analyzed those lyrics. But now that I heard that, now I understand what the song's about.
Yeah.
Becoming an ooga jogger.
Insults were thrown, punches thrown.
Another ooga booga, ooga jaga.
And then it escalated, expletives and all.
Look at that. There is a sharp rise in women killing people. Like, I don't even know if I want to even cover all the news. I probably should cap this.
According to the mom
watch the blows.
Expletives and all.
And there's all the social media violence that's out there. And I've seen pornography sites that mix videos of sexuality with women people being killed. Okay. And so I'm telling you, it's from a psychic perspective that they are going to have websites in the future where people watch Americans being sacrificed and raped. It's guaranteed unless the grid goes down. And I'm not convinced at present that the grid's going down in the way that it needs to go down. Now I actually kind of believe now the government could even stage I'm ready for my next like now. I'm ready for my next drink. Come on. No, the government may stage a grid down scenario, but they'll intentionally keep up the grid, the cell phone grid, so they can control, foreign governments could take out the grid, like the power grid, the water, but have everybody on the phone collecting sex slaves for China and Russia to be sent overseas out of places like Portland, San Diego, LA, Tijuana, Houston.
According to the mom and
League
daughter,
City,
the disagreement
Texas.
started over a parking place in the crowded lot.
See,
They say
you know where my focus is? I'm a strategist. I'm like a military strategist. Coastal towns. But with this Agrea thing, these may be the human trafficking sleeper agents of the invaders of America, military.
Aggressor's Lexus SUV was idling with the door open, blocking an open parking spot during the busy holiday shopping season.
They created, even with women in COVID, adult X-rated addictions because they divided man and woman. They created a form of sick entertainment, put in the hands of the kids. And as I predicted years ago, now the young women don't even care about women getting raped or human trafficking locally, and refuse to even consider even saving their own ass. Their own idea of just saving their own ass is just getting with a giant. He doesn't have to be a giant who can fight or hit the heavy bag. As I told you, by being the guy who's getting better at the heavy bag, it alienates women. Emily, my first love, or I loved her, she never loved me, literally told me, that my videos were unwatchable. Now that says something when a certain woman of a certain demographic can't handle a short athletic man trashed in a bag and goes with a giant man just because he has money and he's feminine. That's not the way of the world that the women need to go in. It's okay to be into a man who's in a sacred femininity and opening up his heart, but just being feminine and being hairy-fairy, being basically like a straight gay guy, that's perverse. And that's what a lot of them want now. Feminized men that are not real dudes, that don't speak the truth. And what I am is a real guy's guy, dude's dude on a number of different levels. But as my book will explain to you, I have faced hardship because of interference. We're not alone in this universe. And if you think so, wow. And if you think that I haven't faced interference while you think the aliens are out there, you're special. Special.
They waited
That's
and waited.
Special to believe in aliens and the unseen realms. And I think that some people haven't been fucked with. That, my friends, is special. People like Clyde Lewis and Lisa Lyon and others in Coast to Coast are special children. Not the light, but of the corn. Of the corn.
And for them to close
That's
the door.
very special for people to embrace psychic phenomena, but go, you can't be psychic because of some internal monkey ooga jaga bias that they have not healed from.
Finally did.
Keep those lights coming. Keep
shutting
the
of the door
drinks
was
coming.
very aggressive. Then after that, well, yeah, my daughter
My
went out
drink's
of the
being
car.
cold
They
over
threw a drink at her.
Where are we on time?
And
okay,
everyone
it's
came
1
out
hour
of the
and
car.
7 minutes. It's time
and
to go back to
started attacking
reset. Be back with more. This is it. We're done.